Hey guys, this is Rockson84 here, and today I wanted to take you guys on a tour through my backyard and see if we can find some wild edibles. Most of these plants can be found from the central to the eastern half of the United States, and you'll find that they can be very nutritious as well as having some medicinal benefits. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, right behind me here we have some greenbriar coming up. You can see they have a kind of a heart-shaped leaf, and they also grow as a vine. The deer love to eat the leaves off of these, and the tips are very tender. Break off the tip here. This is the part you'll want to eat. The leaves can be a little chewy, but anyway, you can just take these tips right here and eat them. Also growing back here, we've got some wild lettuce. This kind of looks like a dandelion, but it grows much taller. When you break the leaves off, you'll see a kind of a white substance coming out of the end. If I can get that on camera here. This plant can have some sedative effects and is also very good for treating pain. Alright, moving on over here, we've got some little patch of wood sorrel growing. Wood sorrel is pretty easy to identify by the 3-leaf cluster of heart-shaped leaves. They also have a yellow flower. These are really nice and tasty. They've got kind of a lemony flavor. You can eat the flower and the leaves on these. Right behind it here, we've got some, this is a, dang, I'm trying to think of the name. Lambsquarters, sorry. Lambsquarters grows very prevalent here. They have kind of a goosefoot shaped leaf, a little bit jagged. You'll also see on the tips that there's kind of a white powdery substance. These can be eaten like spinach. You can put them in wraps and salads. The tips are the most tender part. Later in the year they'll get a little bit tough, so it's best to get them early. Here's another taller lambsquarters plant. Later in the year, before they start sending out their flower heads, the leaves will start to elongate, and then they'll start to produce a black seed, but you can still eat them when they get this tall. This is a red sumac plant here. While you don't eat the leaves or the plant itself, later in the year they'll produce a red berry, which can be used to make lemonade or tea, and is also very high in vitamin C. But you won't start seeing the berries come out until usually like late August or maybe even July. Some more greenbriar growing here. I said these tips are nice and tender, really enjoyable to eat. And right next to it we've got a poke sallet plant. These plants are actually so high in vitamin A that they can be toxic if they're eaten raw. So what you'll do with these is boil them in water twice. Each time you'll run the water off. But these plants, like I said, they're very high in vitamin A, and they kind of taste like collard greens. After you boil them a couple times, you can saute them up with some garlic and onion. They taste really good. Alright, keep moving on here. There's another patch of lambsquarters. I said these leaves will start to get kind of more of an elongated shape throughout the season. And another poke sallet plant. Keep on moving back here. Some more sumac plants. These things can get really tall. This one's about 6 foot tall right now. Like I said, later in the year they'll throw out a red berry, which makes a nice tasting lemonade or tea. This is lemon balm. While it's not one of my favorite tasting plants, it is edible. You can also take the leaves and rub them on your skin. It's supposed to help repel mosquitoes. This is a bigger patch of lemon balm here. Another poke sallet plant. It said it's best to get these plants when they're younger. About a foot tall or so is best. Once they start getting really tall, later in the season they'll put out a purple berry, which is not edible. Do not eat them, they will poison you. This would be a good one to point out. This is not greenbriar, although it kind of looks the same at the tip. You'll see the leaves are kind of have a jagged shape. Do not eat these. Some more poke sallet growing. You see some of the berries starting to form here. They'll start off a white color and they'll turn to a deep purple later in the year. Alright, now we're getting back into the blackberry thicket. We've got a ton of wild blackberries growing on the property. Pretty much everything you're seeing in here is blackberry. This time of the year, they'll start putting out these white flowers. And these white flowers will all turn into berries. You can see one starting to form right here. They'll turn from a green to a really dark purple color. You can usually tell they're ripe whenever they turn from a glossy to more of a dull purple color. This is a first year blackberry cane. In the first year, the canes will stay a green color and they won't produce any fruit. But if you don't cut it down and wait till the next year, this will start producing some nice berries for you. You can also see they've got some pretty wicked thorns on them, and once they get mature, they will tangle you up pretty bad. So try and watch out for your shirts and pants around these. This is some more young lemon balm growing right here. Another young poke sallet plant. This is more blackberry here. Now we're hoping to have a good harvest this year because last year our blackberries didn't do too well, but you can see there's starting to be some forming on there. Alright, well anyway guys, like I said, I just want to take you guys on a quick tour of the backyard and see what we could find. We identified some pretty easy to identify plants, some of the more tasty ones too. We do have some more medicinal plants growing here, but they're not always the best tasting. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for supporting our veterans on Steam It and all of our veteran witnesses. This is Rockson84 signing out.